During Disney's Magical Holiday Celebration special on ABC, Disney showed off more of what to expect on the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. But with all these reveals, is Disney justifying the price for this experience, which could soar over $15,000? We're going to talk about all this and more in today's video. Today's voiceover video. It's been a while since I've done one of these. So how about you and I dive right in? Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another theme park obsession video. Again, I haven't done one of these voiceover videos in a long time, and I like doing these reaction videos every so often. I don't have a studio or anything like that. As of yet, I'm working towards it, so eventually you'll see me on camera in these types of videos, hopefully soon. But again, I love doing these reactions videos, and yeah, Disney kind of pulled the curtain back a little bit more on what to expect when we all go to the Galactic Starcruiser. Well, I will not be going because I won't be spending that kind of money for that experience, but I know a lot of people will, and a lot of people are interested. So yeah, let's get started. Disney as of late has been giving us more and more sneak peeks inside what Disney calls an immersive experience that will blow guests away. As this hotel concept is the first of its kind and pulls a few tricks from Disney's cruise line experiences. But on the Starcruiser, you actually don't go anywhere other than a massive show building behind Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios. With some trickery and show elements, you'll be transported to the Starcruiser thousands of miles up into space. Disney also has a way to get guests to Galaxy's Edge with an immersive transport that will take you on and off planet. While on board the Starcruiser, you'll stay for 2 nights and experience a few familiar characters, some new characters like we saw in the latest video on the ABC special, and also participate in activities around the ship. But let's first talk about what we saw recently during the Christmas special. That was Disney showing off a small snippet of the entrance where guests will enter the hotel, but then immediately jumped to the bridge where guests will get the chance to control the ship and do bridge operations training. Also, some guests will be lucky enough to send the ship into hyperspace, which you know for a fact children and possibly adults will fight over, because who doesn't want to send a ship into hyperspace? But it's an effect that we're very familiar with on attractions like Smuggler's Run, so this isn't something guests need to spend thousands of dollars to experience. They can simply go to Disneyland or Disney's Hollywood Studios, where they can wait in line for Smuggler's Run and have the opportunity to put the ship into hyperspace. But when it comes to the bridge itself, it looks a bit different than concept, which is to be a little expected since most concepts are more blue sky than what ends up being reality. Instead of the more grungy look, they took the route of a clean and minimalistic look, which is cool in certain aspects. I'm a fan of modern contemporary, but when it comes to Star Wars, I lean a little bit more towards the industrial look like we see in most of the movies, especially in particular sections that are just more industrial in general. It's almost too clean and surrounded by warm color tones instead of the bluish hues that we're used to when we think of space. Even the original concept art is more favorable when it comes to color, and I'm kind of surprised that they changed it. It's very similar to what we've seen at Space 220 at Epcot, where the concept was very blue, and then in reality it ended up being more warm. Now, we saw this section before when Josh D'Amaro, who's in charge of Disney Parks and Resorts, showed it off during Destination D23. And just like that video, it shows a very clean and minimalistic look, and even with the windows into space being very familiar to what we've seen on Rise of the Resistance and the Space 220 restaurant that has recently just opened up at Epcot. It's the same effect that we see in both of those settings. Another section showed off in the teaser video was this hallway leading up to what I would assume would be different guest rooms and maybe entertainment space. But what I was first drawn to was the fact that the ceiling was completely plain. It looks like the drywall was put up, painted a matte white finish, and then that was it. It's so clean that the Imagineers seemed to forget about the ceiling when putting the texturized panels on the sides of the walls. How come they didn't do that same treatment to the ceiling? It's little details like this that I think you're expecting, especially when pieces of concept art show really elaborate sections of the ship. I feel as though you would be missing the goal if you only decked out particular areas of the experience more than others. The executives, of course, give the Imagineering team a budget, and I completely understand some things have to go, but when you're charging your clientele that kind of price to experience something that the CEO says will blow us away, I expect the darn ceiling to at least have some texture. Now, the highlight of the video was when we finally got a glimpse of one of the bars on board with a small sample of some live entertainment that we will be experiencing. The bar looks to be dark with an ultra-modern aesthetic, almost as if the cantina in Galaxy's Edge had designers from HGTV come in and throw a modern contemporary look all over the place, which again isn't too bad of a look in this environment. The bar looks to have similar elements to Oga's as far as show goes, like bubbling drinks and a few props on the shelves. But then the camera pans over a little to the stage setting where we see our first alien creature that's totally giving me Fifth Element vibes. And then could there be different types of shows like this? Could they be interactive? I'm sure we'll see, sooner or later once guests start staying on the Galactic Starcruiser. The possibilities could be endless, honestly, if the entertainment team had or is given a nice budget. Now, we don't know who else will be performing, but I'm glad that Disney has spent the extra money and has gone forward with costume characters like this from different portions of the galaxy. It's an element that I'm crossing my fingers for when it comes to Galaxy's Edge. Hopefully, sometime in the future, we're going to get some alien creatures walking around other than just droids or the stormtroopers that we are seeing today. I would like to see more atmosphere brought to Galaxy's Edge. But is all this justifying the price tag? I'm honestly not so sure. The base price for the 2-night experience at the Galactic Starcruiser is a little under $7,000. The suites take it up to the next level to nearly $15,000. And if you want to get a captain suite, you're looking at almost $20,000 and up. Is this level of entertainment worth $15,000? Probably not. Now, obviously, once guests experience the hotel, we'll get a better understanding of what's really offered and the level of quality in person versus on video. But for $15,000, the Star Wars Hotel still doesn't look like Disney has spent as much money as they could have fully immersing guests. A lot of show elements Disney has been showing off are things that we've already seen before in some shape or form. Nothing as of yet is really blowing me away like Bob Chapek told us in 2017. It looks cool, but if I'm spending that kind of money, I want to come out crying because it was breathtaking. There's nothing too incredibly wrong with using things that work, but it seems to me that the Imagineering team is being held back by budget, especially when you look at the level of detail that was put into a lot of different lands throughout the Disney parks, especially those overseas. It's one of those things where it's just good enough to satisfy the masses, I think. But will it satisfy the masses enough, especially with that price tag? Like I said, I think it's going to be something that's going to be judged upon arrival versus on video. Those reviews will be coming out soon enough, and we will know what folks have to say about it. Is Disney offering guests enough for the 2-night stay? Will this be an experience Disney wants guests to do over and over again? And how will it possibly change for that? There's still a lot of unanswered questions about the hotel, but at the minimum, I'm glad Disney is giving us looks inside, giving us little snippets of what to expect. I'm sure more will be revealed as time goes on, and as guests make their way up into space, we'll get a lot of content, I'm sure, from those who have booked. But speaking of booked, the hotel is in fact booked all the way up until September of next year, which is absolutely incredible when you really think about it, and the testament of how powerful the fan base is for experiencing a Star Wars immersive hotel. But are you willing to spend that kind of money for this kind of experience? Go ahead and comment down below on your thoughts on the video and, of course, the hotel in general. Is Disney charging too much? I personally think so, especially from what they've been showing off. It's nothing breathtaking, and it's certainly not blowing me away. It's very familiar, especially since we've had Galaxy's Edge for a couple years now. We've experienced things like Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance, which are really fantastic attractions. But if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and let me know by leaving a like. And if you're new to the channel and you love theme park content from all over, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so stay up to date on every time I post new videos. I'll definitely do a few more of these voiceover videos because I actually like doing them. And like I said, eventually I'll have a little studio and it'll look all nice and cool. Maybe I'll make it look just like the Galactic Starcruiser. But until then, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is. And I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.